Hi everyone, here's what's bothering me today. I am wearing the same clothes because I'm currently, by the time you're seeing this, away on a much needed camping trip. So all the videos for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday have been pre-recorded and scheduled. And that's something that I also want to talk about a little bit because I do like camping, even though I haven't done it in a while. But now, getting back into it, I realized I had a checklist of things that I needed to get and things I needed to consider. And then I thought, okay, what's the actual risk level involved? Going out there, what do I need to bring? Do I want to forage for anything? If so, what's in season, etc., etc., etc. And so this brings me to a point that I wanted to talk about with regards to planning and scheduling and how many of us, especially here in Canada, have bungled that in response to the pandemic. Conservative Party leader Aaron O'Toole said a few days ago by this point that he finds the lack of testing shameful in Ontario because now everyone's back to school and the lineups were so huge. So, this brings home the point of conservatives really don't think anything's a problem until it affects them or someone they know personally. It also brings up the problem that he was railing at Trudeau, even though the testing and healthcare and stuff like that is a provincial jurisdiction, so he should actually be directing that at Doug Ford, the conservative Premier of Ontario. And it also shows that even though people in government were saying back in July and August, yeah, we want to open classes, and here's the policies we have, which means children and students are not allowed back into a physical classroom if they signed up for a physical class until they can get a test proving that they don't have COVID. And yet no one thought to increase the capacity for testing, especially for children and for children's hospitals in Ontario. No one thought to expand testing sites for that in a pandemic while we sent people back to school. This should have been an immediate natural follow-up to, oh, hey, if we're sending kids back to school and this is a requirement that they have to be tested and show results of a negative test before being allowed back into class, maybe we should increase testing capacity if we're going to have a lot more people coming through these facilities across the province. It just shows that a lot of governments these days are not really focusing on governing effectively, no matter what the cost may be. It's based on ideology and trying to just get by with the bare minimum amount of effort, hoping that you, the public who elected and pays for their privilege, they're hoping that you don't notice. And that's a problem, because if you go camping, or if you're, for example, a hunter, what goes into what you're thinking about before hunting? Make sure you got the right gear. Make sure it's still in good condition. Check the weather. If you're going into the deep country, how much gasoline do you think you need to bring for the journey? Do you have enough space on, say, your ATV, or if you're actually bringing your truck deep into the country? Do you got enough space for whatever you and potentially a friend or your son or daughter or whoever are going to haul with you? Do you have the bags? Do you need more bags? Is your knife sharp enough so you can start cutting up this animal? Do you have rope to hoist it so that you can actually make several runs to go back? Is your gun in good condition? Has it been sighted? What land are you going on? Like, there's a whole process to what you need to think about and consider, whether it's for hunting, camping, back to school. And yet it seems that governments, not just in Ontario, but in Alberta and Quebec, have just spectacularly failed in properly preparing for a return to school. So now there's massive lineups, mass confusion. So many people now not taking it seriously are, like, it's been a few weeks in some cases, and there have been outbreaks in Quebec, Alberta, in various schools in Ontario. Oh, how could we have possibly avoided this? People were telling you various different solutions and what you needed to do early on, but you didn't want to do that. Jason Kenney flat out said that that Albertan children were less important than money. Like, he pretty much said that. And so this should really show people that conservatives, liberals, whoever's in charge, if it's not truly people from your community, they probably don't care too much or are not thinking about the bigger picture. And for something like a global pandemic, that requires a very big picture approach. But the fact that so many of our various governments completely bungled this despite having ample time to prepare is what's bothering me today.